Grade 7 students. Our lesson today is about separation techniques, part 3. Objectives. At the end of this video, students will be able to explain the separation technique used to separate the constituents of a heterogeneous mixture with solid liquid constituents, centrifugation. Materials you need: the chemistry worksheet, a notebook, a pencil, and the chemistry book. Instructions: sit in a quiet and comfortable room. Watch the video more than once. Pause the video and try to solve the applications alone. Solve the homework assigned by your teacher. Let's recall. Matter can be classified according to its constitution into pure substance like sugar and mixture like water and oil. A mixture can be homogeneous like tea or heterogeneous like water, oil, and sand. A heterogeneous mixture can be of solid-solid constituents, solid-liquid constituents, or liquid-liquid constituents. Each constituent can be separated using different separation technique. A solid-solid constituent can be separated using magnet picking or hand sorting. A solid-liquid constituent can be separated using decantation or filtration. We know that muddy water can be separated using decantation, as we allow the mixture to stand for a longer time, as we observe that the water is more clear, as we observe after 7 days. But do you know a separation technique that permits to obtain the same result obtained after 7 days in decantation but more rapid than it, in a minute for example? Yes, it is centrifugation. To know what is centrifugation technique, please open your worksheet 6, page 8. What are the materials you need to perform the centrifugation technique? The centrifugation technique requires the following materials: a muddy water, which is water plus sand, and a centrifuge machine. Now, watch the following video which shows centrifugation separation technique.
When a liquid containing suspended materials is allowed to stand for some time, the heavier particles will settle down through a process called sedimentation. This can be used to separate the material from the liquid. But what will we do if the suspended material is very light? It will take days to settle. In such cases, we can use the process of centrifugation to quicken the process of sedimentation. Centrifugation is the process of separating substances of different densities from a mixture with the help of a centrifuge. Let us conduct an experiment to see centrifugation. For this we need a handy centrifuge machine, muddy water, mixture of calcium carbonate and water, 4 centrifuge test tubes. Take the sample of muddy water and place the test tubes in the centrifuge machine. Now take the calcium hydroxide mixture in the test tubes and also place them in the centrifuge machine. Rotate the machines fast for a few minutes. Stop rotating. Remove the test tubes and observe. We see mud particles and white precipitate have settled in each of the test tubes. This is the process of centrifugation. In a centrifuge, as we rotate, the substances experience centrifugal force away from the center, which forces the materials against the wall of the tube. The amount of centrifugal force experienced by any object depends on its mass and the speed of rotation. The components of a mixture get separated because the denser particles are forced to the bottom while the lighter ones stay at the top. So with an increase in the speed of rotation, even lighter materials can settle down. Centrifugation is used in diagnostic labs for blood and urine tests. It is used in dairies and homes to separate butter from cream.
Refer to the video to answer the following questions and correct your homework. Exercise 1. Indicate the type of the used mixture. The used mixture is a heterogeneous mixture. Exercise 2. What is the role of the rotation? The rotation accelerates the separation of the constituents of the mixture. As the rotation is more rapid, the centrifugation is more efficient. At the end of this experiment, are the components of the mixture separated? If we look at the tube after centrifugation, we observe that the particles of the sand settle down at the bottom of the tube. Then, we can say that the components of the mixture are not separated after centrifugation. Can you add a step to the above procedure to separate the components of this mixture? We can pour the liquid floating into another container, and this step is called decantation. Now, let us remember what are the physical properties. They are density, boiling point, and size of particles. Density. For example, why oil and water does not mix together? Since water is more dense, it settles down. We talk about boiling point when we use a source of heat, and we talk about size of particles when the constituents of the mixture have different sizes. On which physical property does this technique depend? Density, boiling point, or size of particles? We observe that after centrifugation, the particles of sand settle down at the bottom of the tube. Then, the physical property that this technique depends on is density. Usage of centrifugation in our daily life. The centrifuge machine is used in laboratories for blood analysis to separate the solid constituents of blood, platelets, red blood cells, and white blood cells from the liquid constituent, which is the plasma. Also, it is used in kitchens to prepare the crema. The centrifuge machine is used to separate the crema from the milk. Application. Please pause the video and try to solve it alone. 1. Indicate the type of the mixture that we use the centrifugation technique to separate its constituents. Heterogeneous mixture. Name the machine used by centrifugation. Centrifuge machine. The action of pouring a liquid floating on another substance is called decantation. On which physical property does centrifugation technique depend? It depends on density. Give one usage of centrifugation technique in laboratories. It is used in laboratories to separate the constituents of the blood. Conclusion. The centrifugation is a separation technique which speeds up the settling of the solid in a solid-liquid heterogeneous mixture. The material used during centrifugation is a centrifuge machine. The centrifugation always should be accompanied with decantation for the constituents to be totally separated. The physical property that centrifugation depends on is density. Centrifugation is used in laboratories to separate the constituents of blood. Agenda. Review Worksheet 6. Study Exercise 2, 4, and 5, page 8 in Worksheet 6. Copy keywords 5 times, centrifugation and rotation. Read page 37 on chemistry book and solve centrifugation supplementary sheet. Prepared by teacher Yumna Sarhal. Translated and voice recorded by teacher Hawra Abdullah. Reviewed and supervised by teacher Dalal Bays.